Welcome to you, baby dolls. HEX is down minus 98%. Should you be worried? I'm not worried. I'm buying more. We're going to go through some juicy information here. You see, sometimes life will throw a water pistol at you. That's right, it'll throw it. Then you put your hands up to defend against the next one, but it squirts you. That's what happens. You got to be prepared. A lot of people have been asking me, hey, how aren't you losing your mind? It's because I've seen this before, Habibi Albi, so many times. This is exactly what happens. People are cowards and they're weak. They are. People are. All right. And when people get euphoric, they do silly things. They take their clothes off. They take pictures. They do things. So we're just seeing the polar opposite of the euphoria. People losing their minds. This is what happens, you know, in hope and disbelief. We went through this before. Let's continue. The common HEX FUD messages I am getting. This is easily what I'm getting, okay? This is a lot of people concerned. I'm not. I don't really care. I'm going to let you know. Okay, look at this. Firstly, they're talking about Richard Hart. So Richard Hart, founder of HEX and Pulse Chain, said, he said, no coin should ever drop more than 95% because it's trash. I think he was talking about Ethereum when he spoke about this, or some other coin. I remember him saying that as well. And obviously HEX was probably going up at that time. Another thing he said, I remember this specifically. He said this in the fourth quarter of 2022. He was on a stream. He went and he measured Doge. He said, basically, he said no coin dropping more than minus 95% has a good product market fit. Okay, that's what he said. I didn't say it. He said it. Okay. So I'm letting you now see HEX hit minus 98%. What is going on? I don't really care. Okay. I don't really care. I'm going to show you why. Because the target's the target, okay? Now, I want you to know this as well. So, if you're new here, welcome, welcome. Thank you. Take a seat over there. Don't hunch your back. Keep your elbows pointy, please. And keep your ears perked. If your ears aren't perked, you grab the top of your ears, you point them to the ceiling to signify that you are now perking your ears. And then confirm our friendship in the comments section, please. So, I want you to know I faded Ricardo himself at the crypto lows of 2022. I faded him. And why I'm mentioning it to you is, firstly, everybody was dead, so no one was around. There was only the Hexicans left. So every time I said, hey, I think Bitcoin hits 30K before it hits 10K. So that was when Bitcoin was around 20. So then the FTX collapse happened. I want you to know this, okay? So the FTX collapse happened, and this happened, right? And everyone was, remember, look at this. This is all everyone was saying. And I was like swallowing it. I was like, ooh. I was just gulping all day, and I was actually like tweeting like a madman. Like, hey man, everyone's whinging now. Everyone's depressed. Everyone's depressed. When everyone's depressed, the capitulations are done. Okay? No one's in anxiety anymore. It's just, oh, we've lost everything, all hope. And guess what? It hit 30K before it hit 10K. Will it hit 10K? I don't know. But hey, to me, that signifies pretty much a confirmation of a bottom. It's 100% off the low. So this is something I'll let you know. This happened. So when Bitcoin and crypto does 100% off its lows, well, Bitcoin itself, that's usually the mark of the end of the bear. But I don't want to speak too much about it because I don't want to jinx it, because no other influencer talks about this. None of them. I don't want them to get psyops, okay? So this is just like a fresh reminder to let you know, yes, there are giants and intellectuals out there and people who know what they're doing, but they can be wrong. They can be wrong. They can't get absolutely everything right, okay? But I want you to let you know that this happened. This was the truth. So somebody who, and this was even more magical because he called the top here. He called the Bitcoin top, okay? And we went down. And he said, hey, Bitcoin drops 85% in every bear market. Mark 85%. Here's 9 to 10K, right? And Bitcoin's volatility lowered a bit, but it stopped there. So this is somebody who had accuracy of a surgeon, a heart surgeon, right? Pinpoint precision of a sniper, could get the top up here, but still got it wrong. So just to let you know, I've seen this time and time again. I'm like, wow, this person did really, really well, and I would follow them, you know? Now, I'm not saying to just completely ignore everybody, but I'm just letting you know this happens, man. This happens. People can get things right for a specific point of time, and then markets blur, man. It's very hard to predict the chaotic nature. So after all of this, you heard his comments saying, hey, does that mean HEX has no good product market fit, etc.? Well, I believe anybody who throws this away is looking at it wrong, because the way I see it is HEX's product market fit has nothing to do with how much it drops in price. And you say, nah, that can't be right. I'll say, yes, it is, because I know the truth, okay? I know the truth, and a lot of people don't want to accept this, but I know the truth, okay? The truth is that HEX's product market fit is a force multiplier on Bitcoin going up. and Ethereum going up more specifically. It's actually more to do with Ethereum, okay? Because Ethereum is what they raised money in, most likely, okay? And I'm going to show you the Ethereum chart to let you know this as well. So Ethereum going up means HEX will have a good product market fit because we're leveraged on things going up. And what do people want when things go up? They want more leverage, right? That's what they want. They want leverage, but also if it goes down, they don't want to be forced out. And this is a perfect tool. Isn't it great? So it's fascinating to hear that. Have you ever heard that before? No, you haven't. I just want to let you know, it's okay if you disagree. That's fine. There's plenty of people always will tell me, I don't like it. It's fine, man. What, you think I haven't heard this before? Do you think, friends, do you honestly think your friend Simon here, do you think anybody was calling me smart for going hyper aggressive on Ethereum down here? Do you think anyone on earth, do you think anybody called me smart here? I want you to know. Please, have a think about it. Anyone. Not one single person, okay? Not one single person, okay? And don't think, oh, but Ethereum had developers. No. Everybody said, yeah, they have developers and applications, but there is no value capture to the layer 1 chain. That's what everybody said. It's down 95%. It went up too much. It needs multiple years of rinsing. Maybe it's lucky to go 1,000. You know what everyone said? They said maybe it's lucky to go to $1,000 by the end of 2030. That's what they were saying. And I said, nah, you're probably wrong. And everyone said, well, I was a nobody. I still am a nobody. I'm still a peanut brain. But everyone was like, nah, yeah, stupid, mate. They wouldn't even give me an emoji react in Discord. All right? Not even an emoji react, guys. I always emoji react back to you. That's right. We farted upwards this time. Okay, so I've seen this before, time and time again. I mean, also, have you heard of a little coin called Bitcoin? Yes. All my friends and family. Yeah, the zombie virus came, end of the world. Happened before, man. By the way, also here. No one followed me, though. Okay, no one followed me. Happened same time and time again down here. So I've seen this time and time again. Has nothing to do with what you think it does, right? Enough people think that crypto is their path to getting rich. That's enough for us. That's the fuel we need, all right? Now, moving on, right? So I'm going to still DCA buy HEX. Okay, I've got a little shopping cart trolley to let you know. Woo! HEX actually hit 1.1 cents, actually hit 1.09. Basically a cent, man. We're rounding down here. We're playing with a dead body, really. I've got this shopping cart emoji for you. So, even some comments, people asking, can you buy HEX? Can you buy eHEX on Pulse Chain? Yes, you can. That's probably the main reason why I'm bullish on it. It's because you can buy it on Pulse Chain, okay? And I also got asked as well, okay, so are you buying both eHEX and pHEX? Because the ratio is so disconnected, I'm going to show you the chart, right? I've mentioned here, I'm only buying eHEX DCA now. But I want you to know, before I was buying pHEX, just like 2 weeks ago. So it's not like I'm choosing one or the other, and I own both, all right? Now, I mentioned here, if the ratio was near 1, I'd just be buying pHEX, okay, if I want to collect. Here it is, the ratio is up to 0.85, which means eHEX is 85% of pHEX's price. Remember to click up here when you go to find it on Dex Screener, the eHEX ratio. All right, so maybe, hey, I've also mentioned, I can't find my comment now, but I mentioned, hey man, look, I know this is hourly chart, but let's just say in 2-3 months, we're back at 1.0. You think someone like Ricardo himself, do you think he's not enticed to go, you know what? I wonder how everyone's going to react if I just rotate some of my secret wallets and I buy a lot of pHEX I buy a lot of eHEX using pHEX. So basically, he forces this ratio up. What's everyone going to say? Oh, eHEX is alive. eHEX is alive. I'm telling you, okay, it's funny. We might clip this back in a few weeks, days, months, sometime in the future. I would do this if I was a duck. Do you know why? If I was a duck, why I would do this? Because every single betrayer, every single divorced one, and I call them the divorced ones because there were people who wanted to they said, hey, everybody sell your eHEX, it's going to 0. Let's just all rotate into my pHEX. That's what everybody's saying. I believe that this would send a signal from the entire community to those smaller numbers of people, the divorced ones, telling them, you know what? You better sit down and know your place, okay? Because you don't know what you're talking about. Because explain this, okay? Easy. You just send the ratio to 1.20. There you go. This will train people to believe that HEX will never die on any chain. That's what I would do. All right? It will be very funny if we get to play back this video in the future. So, going back here as well, baby dolls, more questions, right? Is there any way for ETH to buy directly? Look, there's a lot. This is a beautiful part. I want to let you know this, okay? So this person's asking me, Why is there a 4.5% fee when they're trying to buy directly over credit card? But I want you to know that's how we know we're going to pump, all right? That's how we know they're going to pump, baby dolls, all right? So, yes, I asked him, the 4.5% fee is tiny because HEX is like minus 98% down. Now, it sucks for Ethereum, but even then, if these fees were like if they were like 0.1%, I'd be very bearish on the whole crypto industry because that means it's too efficient. The fact that fees are 4.5% to get in, oh my God, and it's going to be a couple of percent to get out, that means there's so much money. That means there's so much fat left on the bone. You eat the fat, you eat the meat, and then you eat the bone, all right? All while maintaining a straight back. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see tiny costs. That's like traditional banking stuff, man. Stocks are like basically feeless to trade, no fees. Okay, so I only know this because I've been in markets for so long. When you see big, fat, wide spreads, you just know a lot of money's to be made, okay? It's because people don't sit on limit orders. People hit market. That's what it means. People are willing to hit market even though the spreads are wide, all right? So I'm still buying eHEX, all right? I'm rotating to it heavier. So here I am, another chart to let you know. Okay, so HEX chart hit minus 98% down. My target is still $1. That's still my target personally. Yes, $1 each. Okay, $1 each. Why? It's all part of the same ecosystem. You're not buying eHEX, you're buying into Richard Heart. You're not buying PLSX, you're buying into Richard Heart. Okay, you get the point. Any of the coins, you're buying into Richard Heart. It's all one market cap. We all got diluted. Now, maybe the character and personality of each community might stop overlapping so aggressively as we traverse in the next bull market. But hey, I reserve the right to change my mind if that happens. Until then, we are all cut from the same cloth. I don't even know that saying. I hope that's right. So, I want you to know this as well. So, this is not FUD. This is just fact, okay? So, if this upsets you, then please sell your bags now, okay? I can make the case to let you know that it's actually better for the influencers of HEX, the post-chain community, to FUD the bags right now. To tell them it's a scam, it's going to zero, and because you get rid of the weak hands faster. Because obviously, this whole plan of doing the sacrifice, really dodgy, the sacrifice launch price, minus 93%, but it's all obviously intended to wipe out weak hands. All of it. Every single piece of this action has been to wipe out weak hands at the expense of people already in the system. So when I tell you this, it's the truth, okay? Only 3 coins out of 55,000 ever recovered from minus 98%. Yep, it's true. Cardano and Aave. I've made the charts. I've showed the charts. Yes, they went down minus 98, minus 99%. They went up. Okay, there was another coin. I forgot its name. I've made tweets about it. That's basically, they're your odds. Okay, they're very odds. And yeah, they're disgusting. But it's actually not the real truth. I could play devil's advocate because the real HEX price is actually 2.8 to 3 cents if you add them both up together. Okay, but let's forget that, right? For now, I'm going to move on to that. So I'm letting you know, I'm DCA buying only eHEX until the parity is near 1. So as long as we are under this yellow line, that's it, just DCA eHEX. If we got to the yellow line, hey, I just switched to both, just to both and both. At that point, maybe I'll rotate everything of the extra eHEX, right? The extra eHEX you have, maybe you go up here, maybe just keep it 50-50, right? You might say, oh, shouldn't you get it all out at pHEX? No, because this is the thing, all right? I'm just pretending that I was a duck. Let's say I was a duck. I swam in a pond. I got a little beak, right? I got some sick glasses, shiny glasses. I don't want to bet against a founder doing this, okay? I don't want to bet against that because that would embarrass you, okay? Personally, that would embarrass me. And by the way, anybody could just lie, but I'm telling you, that would, looking at my portfolio, looking at my actions, that would embarrass me as an investor, as contrarian, as everything, okay? Because getting out everything at fair value would go against everything I teach. You never get out at fair value, okay? You get out at premiums, all right? So you get out at the signal. That's how I operate. That's actually how Warren Buffett operates too, by the way. I didn't learn it off me. Warren Buffett says you basically never get out for a fair price, right? You get out for a great price. You get out when people can't wait to get into it, okay? So that's just some juicy information for you. So also, to let you know, okay, so look at the cute chart here. So yes, this is what the chart looks like. Yes, if it disgusts you, hey, welcome aboard, man. Everyone's down 98% from the top. Welcome aboard, right? So this is just crypto. Price volatility is disgusting. But hey, on the plus side, when we start going up, people don't want to wait. Okay, people don't want to wait anymore. So what I like to see is my target, right? I'll tell you, man, if man, woman, and or ducks, my targets aren't changed, right? Just because we drop down doesn't change poop, okay? I know the liquidity. I know there's weak hands. I know the big wallets. I don't really care. This doesn't impact me at all, okay? My heart is not weeping like it was on the zombie virus, okay? The zombie virus, my heart was like, oh, man, if this happens, I was like laughing. I was laughing like a maniac. I was like, wow, you really don't want me to become rich, Lord, do you? Because you want a zombie virus, really? You know? So I'm not saying that here. But here, I'm just here. I mean, look where Bitcoin is right now. Like, I have no doubt. That's why I've told you at the beginning of this video, the product market fit of HEX and many other crypto actually has nothing to do with the product themselves most of the time. The force multiplier we're looking for, the leverage, the juice, right? The juice with the pulp that we drink with a straight back, wearing our fluffy slippers, those ones have to do with Bitcoin and Ethereum going up. They are the peas, they're the spears of crypto themselves, okay? And a lot of people don't like to see it. But hey, it is what it is, man. We can't ignore it for too long, can we? Look what happened in 2022, all right? So a lot of information to gather when we see this, okay? So also, I've got here to let you know, consider, okay, just quickly in the comment as well. So this chart, this is the truth, okay? This shows the risk of staking too long and holding too long in the next bull, okay? So in 2020, whenever the next bull comes, 24, 5, 6, 7, I don't know when, we could be cursed. Hopefully it's 2025, euphoria repeats again, so it's predictable, but who knows, okay? Who knows? I'm telling you, in that next bull, when it's done, your risk is 98% down. And here's the sad part. The sad part is, let's say we only drop minus 95% down. It doesn't matter. The right thing to do is get out anyway. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Like, for example, if you called the Bitcoin top, right, did it really matter whether Bitcoin hit 3K, 5K, 10K, or 15K at the low? It didn't really matter because you weren't long. You weren't suffering with everybody else. You were getting out when everybody was in thrill, optimism, and euphoria, okay? No amount of staking saved you. Nothing saved you, okay? Nothing. So this is, I'm going to go through this to show you as well what I mean by that. So it's also important to consider. So we're talking about Pulse and PLSX. If HEX could drop minus 98%, what's stopping them from dropping minus 98%? Nothing, okay? Now, minus 90% is still huge, all right? And it's a given, all right? It's a given. They're going to be cycle 1 coins too, all right? So it's consider the downside risks of holding PLSX in too long in the next bull market. Now, here's the thing, right? So you might know this, but it doesn't really matter what either of us think. It doesn't even matter what I think because I know this. Market doesn't care. When it runs out of buyers, it runs out of buyers. That's it. Okay, just like how we're all running for sellers to run out now, still hasn't happened. It doesn't matter what we say, what news we release, okay? So look at this. Will you, I'm asking you, my baby dolls out here, will you hold a full weight longer than 70x? So that's when Ricardo Corazon himself bottom ticks the 1000x rule of measurement. So if you go to, I've got a price to show you in the next one. So for PLSX, right, we'll go through another chart just to show you quickly. Here, see this? This is PLSX, for example. Up here, see up here, this is 70x from day one sack, 1000x from the low. So he's going to be measuring this. He's going to tell you it's up 1000x. He's not going to be saying it's 70x. Okay, he's already measured it from the low. All right? I'm asking you. It's not about whether me and you think anything's going to happen. It's now you'll have to manage the downside. Are you going to hold it? That's what you got to think about. Are you going to sit there and go, well, I'm still 100% in? Because knowing that HEX can drop minus 98%, your risk is literally this, okay? Over 1.5 years. Actually, yeah, so HEX topped 20 months ago. So 20 to 21 months, if that happens, okay? Not saying it will happen. Maybe it goes up to do the 2000x from the low. Hey, but still, this is just something to think about. Is think about your plan. If this upsets you, that means you're not long enough. That means you actually got to increase your position size. That's how to read yourself as a signal. So for me, man, I'm happy with a 5x. 5. I'm not getting out at 5, but I'm just telling you, I'm over the moon at 5. Over the moon, friends. so I don't really care about 10, 20, 30. I'll have a very rational mind up there. But if you have a tiny bag, what you consider tiny, and it's not enough to achieve your goal, well, then maybe you have the risk of holding too long in the next bull. That's the problem, okay? So in the next one, here we go. So HEX dropped minus 98%. It's not a guarantee Pulse and PLSX will, but now you know, there's opportunity, right? What does Ricardo himself talk about in Bitcoin? He always says, well, it drops 85% in every bear market, so it can do that too. It's possible, okay? So it's going to be the same thing with HEX in the next bear market, right? HEX dropped minus 98% in the next bear. So if it goes up to $2, okay, yeah, it can. I'm telling you, Why can't it go back down to 10 cents, right? Why can't it? It can do that. It can. Okay. So also, this is important to know. So this might tilt some people. Doesn't matter. This is the truth, man. I don't make the rules. Hey, you think I want everything to go up. So the 10-year staking lockups did not prevent a price collapse. The market came back to equilibrium anyway. So this is hard. I mean, it's never been done before, but hey, this is the chart, man. I didn't make this, okay? I didn't choose this. I didn't make it. It went back down anyway. Okay, now this is the chart of truth, okay? So to let you know, repeat again. Personally, me, out of Pulse, PLSX, pHEX, eHEX, I am just DCA buying eHEX. Just because, one, everything's cheap, and two, that's super cheap on the ratios. Every single ratio, that's like the screaming one, okay? If you have to think about, this is just some friendship advice, right? If you've got to think about what to buy, that means buy more. Okay, this is, I'm letting you know in history, okay? In history, that means you're around fair value for everything. So you say, oh, should I buy a Pulse or should I buy a PLSX? Get both. Get both. Because if the spreads deviate hard from that entry point, you can rotate that other leg in, okay? So, for example here, right, I can find you the PLSX chart. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. This is what I do now, okay, to let you know. So this is why I feel safer now. So if we switch it to the PLSX to Pulse ratio, right, to let you know here. So if you're not sure what to buy here, just buy both. Just buy both. Because here's the thing, right? Let's say PLSX screams. Well, you can rotate half of that Pulse into, half of that PLSX into Pulse, because up here PLSX will be expensive, okay? And if it goes down here, right, all the way down here, well, guess what? You can then spend some of your Pulse and accumulate more PLSX. So you win in both scenarios, but you only win because you got both. If you went all in or one, you are betting on one direction. Here you win, here you lose. Like I'm just letting you know, right? So this is what I now do. But with eHEX, there's actually no scenario. It's just, okay, you are cheap everywhere. Everything says you're cheap. The market sentiment says you're cheap. Everything, all the Twitter comments, all the community, everyone says, oh, wow, you're actually going to zero now? Okay, cool. So it's a screaming buy to me. These don't come often. This is like once a year opportunity. Literally once a year. Okay, it doesn't happen more often than that. Okay, so my target, still $1 each. And here are some things to know. So the chart of truth, right? So HEX is now minus 96% against Ethereum on the HEX ETH chart, okay? This is, I call it the chart of truth. It's because it shows you, right, how much did you perform against a blue chip, a blue chip Ethereum, all right? So it erased 1,134 days of gains. It went back to April 2020. Yes, so put down the water pistol. I'm not making this up. This is the chart of truth, okay? Go take it up with TradingView, and they do this. You don't like this chart? Go paint it a different way, okay? So I'm letting you know, this is what Pulse and PLSX, they will do this in the next bear market. So it doesn't mean they're going to hit somewhere and just go down, right? What we might find is, so have a look at this, okay? This is the actual chart. So have a look at this. So we started down here, okay? And then we had the first rally. Look at this. Woohoo! The first rally, and then sideways. You see this first rally sideways? We are right now hoping we're here. This is where we're hoping. We're hoping we are right at the foot of the mountain of that first rally. So between, say, June and March of 2024, I'm praying that Pulse and PLSX rally against Ethereum, and then they stop and go sideways, and that is our, like, value zone. That's like our magnet zone. We'll call it the magnet zone, okay? If you notice, in the final euphoria of the bull, and this is HEX, it went up. Look, it's come back all the way to the magnet zone. So if you just do this sideways, see, it's come back here. It's come back deep within the magnet zone. So just call it this magnet zone. It's back all the way here. All right, so even though it disconnected, look how long it took to come down. And look how sad this is. This is the sad part. It actually faked out and then crashed again. This is normal in markets, okay? I've seen markets do this, okay? They never let everybody win, right? They never let everybody win in the short term, okay? They do let everybody win long term many times, but not short term like this. And short term is under 24 months. So yeah, look at this pain you had to accept. So I think Pulse and PLSX will probably do the same thing. So most people, so this is the sad part, okay? So most people are going to get trapped because in the next zone that Pulse and PLSX go to, when we go to that magnet zone, there's going to be people who are getting out here. They're going to be getting out way too early, all right? When we hit the magnet zone, these people are going to be fuming at people like me who are showing them, haha, nice 2x sell. You're up 24x if you didn't sell. You're an idiot. So they're going to be hearing everyone say that. And what that's going to do is that's going to train existing holders to never sell in the final big euphoria leg. All right, so that's exactly what happened. So when HEX did this like 30x up here, what happened to everybody sold down here? Regret. They have life regrets, okay? So here, the magnet zone was just collecting people, took a long time, took a year of rinsing. You know, that might disgust you, but hey, HEX PLSX might be in a range all the way until like the end of 2024, all the way to like March 2025. Hey, it's possible if it repeats like this, okay? And then as people are trained to never exit, this happens in every market, okay? When this leg happens, this is the super excitement leg. This is the euphoria, thrill, this is everything. All the dreams actually get met. This leg, no one gets off. Only 2 to 3% of people get off because they're just like, I'm getting off, and they get off too early, etc. Everybody keeps holding. And so this is how you get this zone where we are right now, okay? So that's the danger of this. So the first magnet zone is reached. Everybody laughs at the paper hands, and then it trains the new wave of people to never get out. And that's how you get super euphoria. You basically create a huge launching pad, and the rocket shoots off. So this happens in Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything, every single asset, it does this, okay? Because the crowd is feeding off each other. And this takes 2 years to develop. So even though, yeah, we're 96% down, I don't really care. And even though I told you, hey, there's a high chance this can happen again, I don't really care. I'm a little voice. I'm going to drown out, okay? People don't care about words when they are drunk off euphoria. The dopamine, the serotonin, the moods. Yeah, we finally made it, guys. Woo! Somebody's not looking. Hunch your backs. You see, you can hunch your back, but someone's always watching, okay? You are also watching yourself in the mirror. So I might not be there in person, but I'm there in spirit, okay? So think about that, right? So when it comes to this scenario, it doesn't really matter. Everybody knows about this. Everybody knows the charts. Everybody knows things get high. You can't impact it. It's just human emotions. There's some deeper part of a cycle that happens. Okay, this is beautiful. It's a beautiful part, but also, hey, that's why there's winners and losers in this game in the short term. So I'm very fully aware my voice will get drowned out by the time 2024, 2025 arrive. Okay, because of course, hey, Richard Hart goes out and streams for 3 hours. No one's gonna care about little Simon. Look here, he's wearing a Bitcoin sign. Who is this idiot wearing a Bitcoin sign? Who's this idiot? That's what they're going to be saying. Like, this dude didn't even come. So even though I'll tell everyone, hey, you know, I've been around in markets for 10, 13 years, bought the low in 2018. Like, I'm not that new. People are going to say, you know what people are going to do? They're going to go to my profile and be like, aha, he joined in 2021. He joined at the top. So this is completely wrong. It's just I never used Twitter before because it's full of scum. Still a lot of scum out there, okay? So we're changing it. But this is, see how it's so easy? I even fudded myself. I fudded my own voice already. What do you think is going to happen when the prices are super green and Richard's streaming and he's like, crypto can go higher than you can possibly imagine. HEX hit at 10,000x. You know what I mean? And then people are going to ask him in question and answer, do you think HEX can do a 10,000x from the day one sacrifice? And do you think PLSX can do a 10,000x from the day one sacrifice? What do you think he's going to say? No one is going to say no. Nobody ever is going to say that. They're going to say, well, yeah, I think they can do that. Of course, yeah, I think they can do that. If HEX did a 10,000x, then that should be able to. But you can use that argument for anything, you know? You really can use that argument for anything. It's like, hey, HEX stopped when it reached a certain ratio to Bitcoin, so why shouldn't the other ones, right? So you can do anything of the past, any data, and say, hey, if this happened before, it can happen again. Okay, so this is... Bitcoin maxis do it. Ethereum maxis do it. Every single coin says it. And... I'll tell you right now, don't hold a coin if the founder doesn't say we're going to go to the moon. All right. I don't want to hear that. If Ricardo was saying, nah, I don't think we can do 1,000x, I'll be like, all right, I'm out. That tells you everything you need to know about how far they're willing to take it. They can't break character. That's the truth. They can't break character. So the crowd's going to disagree. I already know this. Happens all the time. Disagree. That's fine. Okay. Hey, it's going to be all right. Just going to be just slightly trimming out. Try to sell on the first red monthly candles that appear. We'll make some different, tiers of how we get out and stuff. Don't worry about that. That comes a long time from now, friends. We're in like the death zone. Don't even worry about the party zone, okay? So now it's up to you, right, to determine. If you're still holding full-size bags when PLSX is up 1,000x from the Richard Hart measured low, you're going to run that risk. So that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what I think or anyone thinks. It's, hey, are the buyers going to run out or not? Well, we don't know, okay? So those final numbers are 70x for PLSX sacrifice, and 250x for Pulse. Okay, I hope they go higher. But that's where I'm just telling you, that's the zone. Start thinking. That's what I'm saying. Start thinking at that zone and start acting. Act with something. Worst case, let's say you're like, I'm so convinced I'm going 1000x. All right, man, get 20% out. Is 20% going to kill you? Because guess what? You're going to be enjoying that 20% if they actually do drop minus 95% from that point. Okay. Anybody who had, think about this. Okay. Anybody who had, let's go to HEX. This is the most disgusting. You have to know this, okay? This is disgusting, but look, I just got to show you this, right? Let's say somebody had a portfolio up here of $100,000, okay? Now it's worth, okay, I know it's hard to see. It's about 0.025. I know this is very hard to see. Now it's worth $2,500, okay? All right, $2,500, okay, it's the truth, okay? That means I can come in with $2,500 and I can buy their entire position. That's how hurt they are. Everybody's hurt, man. Everyone's hurt, okay? Don't think I feel the pain too. I'm with you. Now, I want you to know, in the next bull, if you don't have a mindset of getting out, if you have a mindset of 1000x, and you run the risk of not getting out, okay, then whenever it stops, let's say at the next bull, you have a 500k position, okay, 500,000 at the top. Well, you know, someone could probably, let's do 95% drop. Someone could buy your $500,000 position for 25k, and then you're going to have a diminished return in that next cycle, like the rest do. Okay, so this is the sad part with HEX. So with HEX, 100,000. So people had 200,000 HEX at the top. Man, do you know 200,000 HEX only costs, right, $2,800 today. I'm going to be fair and just double it for the eHEX pHEX price is $5,600. Okay. No amount of, this is the truth. Okay. No amount of staking saved you. No amount of let's lock up 5 years, the ladder. It didn't do anything, man. It was just, it's market emotions. All right. It's market emotions. If this dropped minus 98% this time, how much are you willing to run the risk in 2025 of it dropping? Because if it drops 70%, this is the sad part. If look when HEX dropped 70%. Okay, let's go down here. When HEX drops 70%, it's still 14 cents. Okay, look how lower we are. So it can drop 40. You can drop 70% of your portfolio top in the next cycle, and then you have to think, oh man, if we go and do HEX's numbers, that's right. You drop another 90% from that point. So that's what it is, right? So this is just the harsh truth to deal with. This is the truth with all the numbers, and everybody's going to try to drum up a different excuse. You're going to say, hey man, Bitcoin's volatility is lowering, so maybe the crypto altcoins is. Nah, look at this. HEX dropped minus 98% on this chart, even with Bitcoin only dropping dropping less. Okay, so you can grab this, drop it down minus 77%. So Bitcoin and Ethereum had lowered the volatility, but altcoins didn't. They still went the full whammy. So this is the truth, friends. How are you going to act? I'll tell you how I'm acting. I'm getting super aggressive now because I know the more you get aggressive now, okay, the more you take advantage of this now, you actually get to participate with a rational mind in the future, okay, because you now know what's possible, all right? This chart only hurts if you weren't taking advantage at the start and you were there, okay? If you're not there, that's okay. We can play for the next cycle. Okay, so this is where we're going to have to think with our brains, and we will. And you're going to keep a straight back even when I'm not watching. Tell mum and dad, we're going to make it. Like and subscribe, friends.